Welcome back to Body and Mind. Today, we're diving deep into something that can genuinely change the trajectory of your life. Mastering your thoughts. We're not talking about quick fixes or superficial affirmations. We're talking about deep, transformative mental discipline. Mastering your thoughts means having the clarity, focus, and resilience to move through life with purpose, regardless of the challenges you face. So let me ask you this. How often do you feel overwhelmed by the endless stream of thoughts running through your mind? Perhaps it feels like you have no control over them, like your mind is a battleground of anxieties, doubts, distractions, and fears. Now, imagine if you could quiet that chaos. Imagine if, instead of reacting to everything your mind throws at you, you could choose your thoughts with intention and precision. What would that do for your productivity, your peace of mind, your life? That's exactly what we're going to explore today. By the end of this video, you'll have a powerful understanding of the steps you can take to gain control over your mental landscape. Let's get started. Step 1. Realize the transience of thoughts. The first thing to grasp when embarking on this journey is that your thoughts are temporary. They come and go, often without warning, and they aren't always reflective of reality. Many of us tend to think our thoughts define who we are, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Thoughts are just mental events, triggered by internal or external stimuli. Sometimes they arise from stress, from our environment, or even from old emotional baggage we carry around. Think about the last time you had a negative or anxious thought. Did it persist, or did it eventually fade? Even the most intrusive thoughts lose their strength over time. However, the key is not to engage with them. Don't feed them more energy than they deserve. A powerful exercise here is learning to detach from your thoughts. For example, imagine you're standing on a busy street, watching cars drive by. Some are fast, others are slow, but none of them stop for long. Your thoughts are like those cars, temporary visitors in your mind. You don't have to chase them, you don't have to identify with them. Instead, you can observe them pass without judgment. This simple realization, that you are the observer of your thoughts, not their victim, is profoundly empowering. It allows you to create distance between who you are and the mental chatter that fills your mind. And once you've created this space, you begin to gain control over what stays and what goes. You don't have to believe every thought that crosses your mind, nor do you have to act on them. Step 2. Harness the power of mindfulness. Once you've accepted that thoughts are fleeting and don't define you, the next essential step is to cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, without distraction, in whatever you're doing. In a world where our attention is constantly being pulled in a million directions by our phones, social media, news, work pressures, mindfulness becomes an indispensable tool for mental mastery. When you practice mindfulness, you train your brain to focus on the present moment. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, but the present is where your true power lies. Being mindful helps you reduce mental clutter by bringing your attention to what's happening right now. This is where mental clarity is born, when your mind is free from distractions and focused on the task at hand. But mindfulness isn't just about meditation. You can practice mindfulness in everyday life. Let's say you're doing something as mundane as washing the dishes. Instead of letting your mind wander off into stressful thoughts about tomorrow's deadlines or yesterday's conversations, focus entirely on the task in front of you. Notice the temperature of the water, the texture of the soap, the rhythm of your movements. By focusing fully on this moment, you train your mind to stay present. When you do this regularly, mindfulness becomes second nature, and your ability to maintain clarity and focus even in stressful situations grows exponentially. Step 3. Reduce mental clutter by managing inputs. One of the biggest obstacles to mastering your thoughts is the overwhelming amount of mental clutter we deal with daily. Think about how much information you consume every day, from social media, the news, emails, conversations, and more. Each bit of information is competing for space in your mind, leaving you scattered and distracted. In this state, it's nearly impossible to achieve mental clarity. The solution? Filter the noise. Be intentional about what you let into your mind. For example, take a moment to consider how often you scroll through social media or watch the news. While these might seem harmless, they often fill your mind with unnecessary comparisons, worries, or distractions. It's not uncommon for us to read about someone's success online and suddenly feel inadequate, or see a news story that triggers anxiety about events beyond our control. To master your thoughts, you must become a gatekeeper of your mental space. Ask yourself, what information am I feeding my mind? Does it help me grow, or does it clutter my thoughts with unnecessary stress or distraction? Be selective with what you expose yourself to. Consume content that enriches your mind, inspires you, or challenges you to think more deeply. And more than just information, consider the people you interact with regularly. Your social environment plays a huge role in your mental clarity. If you surround yourself with negative, pessimistic people, their attitudes will likely influence your thinking. But if you cultivate relationships with positive, growth-minded individuals, they'll uplift and inspire you. Your mind is a reflection of your environment. If you want clarity, surround yourself with clarity. Step 4. Reframe your negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are inevitable. They will always arise, but mastering your mind isn't about eliminating negativity altogether. It's about learning how to reframe negative thoughts when they surface. Reframing means taking a negative thought and shifting your perspective on it. Let's say you've just had a setback at work, and your first thought is, "I'm such a failure." This kind of thinking is not only damaging but also inaccurate. Instead of letting that thought spiral into more negativity, pause. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Just because you faced a setback doesn't mean you're a failure. A more accurate, empowering thought might be, I've learned something valuable from this experience that will help me improve. This simple shift in thinking can change your entire outlook. The Stoics practiced this regularly. They believed that adversity is not something to be feared, but rather, it is an opportunity to build resilience and strength. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Reframing your thoughts requires practice, but once you master it, you'll find that even the most difficult situations can become sources of strength. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you'll begin to see them as opportunities for growth. This is where true mental resilience is born. Step 5. Take control of your inner narrative. At the core of mastering your thoughts is taking control of the narrative you tell yourself. Every day, you are crafting a story about who you are, what you're capable of, and what your future holds. And the way you talk to yourself, the inner dialogue you maintain, shapes your reality. If your inner dialogue is filled with self-doubt, fear, or negativity, those thoughts will manifest in your actions. You'll hold yourself back, You'll miss opportunities, and you'll reinforce a belief that you're not good enough. But when you consciously take control of your inner narrative, you begin to reprogram your mind for success. Start paying attention to the words you use when you talk to yourself. Are you kind to yourself? Do you encourage and uplift yourself? Or are you your own harshest critic? If you wouldn't speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself, it's time to change the narrative. Here's a practical step: affirmations. While affirmations may seem simplistic, they are incredibly powerful when used correctly. Each morning, begin your day with positive affirmations that align with the person you want to become. For example, say things like, "I am capable of achieving my goals," or "I have the strength to face any challenge." Over time, these affirmations become internalized, reshaping the way you think and act. Remember, the stories you tell yourself are the blueprint for your reality. If you want to change your life, start by changing your inner dialogue. Conclusion: the journey to thought mastery? Mastering your thoughts is not an overnight process. It requires dedication, patience, and consistent effort, but the rewards are immense. When you take control of your thoughts, you unlock mental clarity, inner peace, and the ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. Remember that your mind is your most powerful tool. By learning to observe your thoughts without judgment, practicing mindfulness, filtering out distractions, reframing negativity, and taking control of your inner narrative, you become the master of your mental domain. You create a mind that works for you, rather than against you. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on the areas in your life where you could apply these principles. Begin with small steps, and over time, you'll notice a profound shift in the way you think, feel, and live. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of thought mastery. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can continue to receive content that helps you master both your mind and your body. Together, we'll keep growing stronger, mentally, emotionally, and physically.